Have you ever heard of the Bermuda Triangle? Of course, you have. It's that mysterious patch of ocean, also known as the Devil's Triangle, stretching between Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. For decades, it's been the stuff of legends, a place where ships and planes vanish without a trace. But what's the real story? Are these just tall tales? Or is there something genuinely terrifying lurking in those waters? Today, we're diving deep into the most chilling facts and theories about this infamous stretch of the Atlantic. So, buckle up, because things are about to get strange. Let us start with the event that arguably put the Bermuda Triangle on the map. The disappearance of Flight 19. On December 5th, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a routine training exercise. The weather was clear, the crew was experienced. Yet, a few hours into the flight, the squadron leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, reported that his compasses were malfunctioning and he was completely lost. His last known transmission was fraught with confusion and panic. He couldn't figure out which way was west. And then, silence. They were gone. All 5 planes, and the 14 men aboard, vanished. But the story doesn't end there. In a twist of fate that sealed the legend, a Martin Mariner seaplane with a crew of was sent out to search for Flight 19. It, too, disappeared. No wreckage, no debris, no bodies. Nothing. In a single afternoon, 6 aircraft and 27 men were lost. The official Navy report was equally baffling, concluding the incident was for causes or reasons unknown. This single event cemented the Bermuda Triangle's reputation as a place of inexplicable mystery. It wasn't just a storm or a mechanical failure. It was as if they had flown into another dimension. Now, let's talk about some of the other famous disappearances. Take the USS Cyclops, a massive US Navy cargo ship. In March 1918, during World War I, this vessel, with 306 crew and passengers, set sail from Brazil to Baltimore. It was last seen near Barbados, and then it just disappeared. No SOS call, no wreckage, nothing. It remains the single largest loss of life in US naval history, not involving combat. President Woodrow Wilson himself said, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." Theories ranged from German submarines to a rogue wave. But without any evidence, the fate of the Cyclops is a complete blank. Another classic case is the SS El Faro. This one is much more recent, happening in 2015. The El Faro was a 790-foot cargo ship that sailed directly into the path of Hurricane Joaquin. Now, you might think, okay, a hurricane, that explains it. But this was a modern vessel with sophisticated navigation and weather forecasting equipment. The captain was experienced. They knew the storm was there, so why did they sail into it? The ship's last known communication was a distress call reporting that it had lost propulsion and was taking on water. It sank, taking all 33 crew members with it. The subsequent investigation raised more questions than answers about the decisions made on board. It's a chilling reminder that even with modern technology, the sea is an unforgiving force. So, what's causing all this? This is where things get really interesting. Let's explore some of the theories, from the scientific to the downright supernatural. One of the most popular scientific explanations involves rogue waves. These aren't your typical waves. We're talking about monstrous, vertical walls of water that can reach over 100 feet high. They were once thought to be maritime myths, but satellites have now confirmed they are very real. A wave of that size could easily swallow a large ship whole, leaving no trace. It's a terrifying but entirely plausible explanation for some of the maritime disappearances. Then there's the theory of methane hydrates. The ocean floor in the Bermuda Triangle region is known to have vast fields of methane gas trapped in ice-like structures. The theory goes that a sudden release of this gas, perhaps triggered by a small undersea landslide, could create a massive plume of bubbles. This would drastically reduce the density of the water. Any ship caught in this frothy, aerated water would instantly lose buoyancy and sink like a stone, straight to the bottom of the ocean. Similarly, if a large cloud of methane gas erupted into the atmosphere, it could cause a plane's engine to stall or even explode. It's a scientifically sound theory, though there's no direct evidence linking it to a specific disappearance. But let's not forget the more unconventional theories. For decades, people have linked the Bermuda Triangle to extraterrestrial activity. Is it possible that this area is some sort of alien abduction hotspot? A portal or a wormhole to another dimension? The idea is that ships and planes aren't crashing. They're being taken. Proponents of this theory point to the complete lack of wreckage. In many cases, it's as if the vessels were plucked of our reality. While there's zero scientific proof, the idea has captivated the public imagination for a reason. It adds a layer of cosmic horror to the mystery. Another intriguing and somewhat related theory is the connection to the lost city of Atlantis. Some psychics and theorists, most famously Edgar Cayce, claimed that Atlantis was a real place powered by massive energy crystals. The legend says that when Atlantis sank, these crystals remained on the ocean floor, and their powerful energy fields are now responsible for disrupting the navigational and electronic equipment of ships and planes, causing them to go astray and disappear. It's a fantastic idea, linking an ancient myth with a modern mystery. Is there a sunken, high-tech civilization Nunglaum down there, wreaking havoc on our surface world? So, after all this, what's the truth? The reality is probably a mix of things. Many of the disappearances attributed to the Bermuda Triangle have been exaggerated over the years. Some never even happened within the Triangle's boundaries. The US Coast Guard and other official bodies don't recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a specific area of hazard. They point out that this region sees a huge amount of traffic ships, planes, yachts, and it's also prone to severe weather, like hurricanes and a rapidly changing Gulf Stream current. Statistically, they argue, the number of disappearances isn't abnormally high for such a busy and volatile area. They'd say that many of the incidents can be explained by a combination of human error, mechanical failure, and the sheer, raw power of Mother Nature. A pilot gets disoriented, a captain makes a bad call, a key piece of equipment fails at a critical moment. A sudden, violent storm brews up out of nowhere. When you combine these factors in one of the world's busiest travel corridors, tragedies are bound to happen. But that doesn't explain everything, does it? It doesn't explain the complete lack of wreckage in so many cases. It doesn't explain the panicked, confused last words of experienced pilots. And it certainly doesn't quell that little voice in the back of your head that wonders, what if? The Bermuda Triangle taps into our primal fear of the unknown. The fear of vast, empty spaces, and the idea that there are forces in the world beyond our control and understanding. Whether it's rogue waves, methane gas, alien portals, or just bad luck and bad weather. The Bermuda Triangle remains one of the world's most enduring and terrifying mysteries. The stories are a stark reminder that despite all our technology and knowledge, we are still at the mercy of the planet we live on. And there are still places on the map, Nolam, where the world as we know it seems to just stop. What do you think is behind the mystery? Let me know your theories in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. See you next time.